Hi, everyone. Welcome to our webinar on successful commercial insurance marketing strategies. My name is Jacob Cole. I'll be discussing some digital marketing strategies later in the webinar. And today I'm joined by our CEO, Ane Agostini, who will be sharing her expertise as well. So, let me get to the logistics slide here. Before we get started, I want to go over this slide. You're all going to be muted, so you can't speak during the webinar, but you can chat your questions in so that we can answer them throughout the webinar. Feel free to chat any questions in now if you have some. Lastly, a very short survey will pop up immediately after the webinar ends. We just ask that you take a minute to fill it out so we can continue improving these webinars for you. So without further ado, I'm going to pass it off to Ane.
All right. Hello, everyone. I'm going to be talking about marketing strategies and how to build your business around your marketing strategies. So let's start with what our agenda is going to look like today. As I mentioned, it's going to be business strategies for building and running your business. We're going to talk about valuable marketing strategies that are really important for your agency growth going forward, especially in this hard economic times. We're also, Jacob's going to be discussing digital marketing and giving you some great pointers relative to that. And then also he's going to be talking about how to utilize our marketing library in order to actually do some of your digital marketing and other types of marketing as well. So let's get started. Okay. We're going to start at the basics here. Have a plan for building your commercial book. I think most important is to step back from your agency, which isn't always an easy thing to do because we're so busy in the doingness of the daily duties of the agency. But it's really important for you as principals or even producers that sort of are managing their own book to step back and look at your book and to see. For agencies, it really needs to be a balanced book of commercial insurance. There's like a 3-tier where you've got life, personal, and commercial. My experience of many years, and I did retail commercial for many years, way before, a long time ago, before I got into the wholesale insurance side. I basically learned that commercial insurance is a very efficient service-wise, and it builds a book of business faster and is more stable, less service headaches. So making sure that you're building commercial insurance is good. The downside is commercial insurance, there's so many classes of business, it makes it challenging to know how to underwrite each one of them. So that we'll talk a little bit about that as well. So you must be able to see where you're going, and you need to have a plan to get there. So being proactive, it's that take that step back and really look at where the evaluation of your agency, which we'll talk a little bit more about, and where you want to go from there. What has worked in the past will not necessarily be what works in the future. This is so true. I don't think in my lifetime, and I've lived a long time so far, I have never been through a pandemic, like COVID, and I've never. I was much younger when our economy was in the kind of shape that it is now. So it's a challenging time. So it is an ever-changing, moving target that we need to be paying attention to. Next slide. Okay, and let's talk about that economic impact on business success. So we have been in an unstable economy, and it is are impacting our ability to track the changes that are happening around us. And so that's something to take stake of, because it is constantly changing. So all types of businesses are being affected were affected by COVID, and then now the economy itself is still impacting um, the business world, and different types of businesses are being impacted in different ways, some of them more than others. And so you really want to make sure that you are keeping an eye on, the moving targets, as that where one change leads to the next business impact. And so that's challenging, but so you've got to be paying attention in order to successfully write commercial insurance. You want to evaluate your current commercial book and manage the direction of your new business. So let me just elaborate on that just for a little bit. You're going to find in your current book that you've got some headaches, because especially around property is impacting, and a lot of it's being non-renewed, limited markets, underwriting's gotten tougher, and so you may need to maybe losing some of your renewals because you can't no longer place them. So that's going to be make a strong case for you to really be writing and targeting the right kind of commercial business opportunities. So in order to offset what that business you're going to lose on your renewal side. Next slide. So what are the key components of a successful agency? Well, we, even though I'm in the wholesale insurance side, we run our operations just as if we were like you guys are as an agency. So because the most important thing is to have streamlined operations and systems in place to efficiently and cost effectively be able to manage all of the details of renewing policies, writing new business, and meeting all the guidelines, getting the applications, getting all the paperwork completed properly in order to continue to bind renewals and bind new business. And that part is super important. I would say as CEO, I would not consider myself the operations person, but I partnered with people who really are very good at it, and they do a fantastic job running that. So we work as a team, and that's effective. So I'm just giving you some ideas. So if that's not your forte, then you need to find a teammate that can handle that aspect for you under your direction. And building your agency team is really important. We've had our recruiting technique has been using college students for 30 years. We've been doing it a long time. And then most of our employees are now college graduates from San Diego State. And that's been really successful for us. Hiring it's becoming a moving target again. COVID caused a lot of chaos in the school systems, and so it's challenging to find the right profile. So you have to be creative out there in order, but don't let down your guard relative to the qualities that you need in an employee. It may take some time to find the right person. Establish and one of the most important things is we talked about renewals being very difficult these days, and so you need to have a marketing production plan and a budget in place, and you need to be proactive with marketing new business. We'll talk a little bit more about that, but that's going to be important. And the budget, is it doesn't have to be a lot, and it can be you can actually pinpoint it and be very selective, and because you want to get the biggest bang for your buck, right? So you're going to want to take a look at opportunities that you could effectively market and obtain the type of commercial business that's going to be profitable and stable. And then you need to manage your production results. That's another, like how we manage our new business on a weekly basis. We don't want to wait a month to figure out how we did as a company. So we're looking at it weekly. We publish those reports each week to all of our staff, and we all get to look at it together. And so we're always seeing how we're doing as a company. And then the same thing goes for your renewals as well. You need to be managing those as well. Okay, so let's start with that marketing plan. Selecting the class of business to focus on. That's crucial, especially in this economic times. You're going to see certain classes of business that are doing better than others. We're finding that obviously going after, property-driven commercial risks such as apartments, condos, lesser's risk, it's a really tough time for that market because most of the carriers have really tightened up or gotten out of that business, or have made their underwriting so difficult that nothing qualifies. So I wouldn't suggest marketing that to that area of focus, but I would be looking at businesses that have been stable for the most part throughout COVID, and some of those classes really fall into areas like garage. Restaurants are coming back like in a big way. So we're getting a lot of restaurant submissions. And then you've got contractors have stayed pretty much stable throughout and have just gotten stronger since COVID. People's payrolls are getting, greater, post-COVID. And so those are businesses that are staying quite stable. There's a lot of the tech industry is very growing like cats and dogs. And so there's a lot of opportunity out there, but so you just need to keep an eye on what businesses are doing well in the economy. Then you need to develop a branding, like what differentiates you from the competition, and you need to be able to communicate that in writing, in your marketing, in your all your communication with your clients, and then anything on your website. It needs to be stated and clarify what makes you different. Why should they pick you? And then I mentioned establishing that marketing budget. So view it as an investment and expect it to perform as such. So because you have to have an expectation. You don't want to just throw money at things that don't produce a result. And what are some kinds of things that might be you would budget for? Business association memberships. And maybe that class of business that you want to go after, you could join their association, and then you could attend those and do sponsorships. There are other opportunities. Jacob's going to talk about social media. You could hire a social media consultant. Advertising expenses. I'm not a big fan of advertising in magazines or anything like that. I haven't seen my personal experience is there's not a great rate of return there, but there is that opportunity out there for you. And then commercial lead generation services is another one, and that actually I see some success. You're going to weed through a lot to find the one cherry that's there. So that's you have to really have a good relationship with the service that you're using. And then successful marketing. It's really about building relationships. And I'm a big proponent on in-person marketing because it does go a long ways towards building a stronger relationship. But then there is digital marketing, which Jacob's going to be talking about. So let's talk about in-person marketing. it's I believe, the best relationship building strategy. So it's getting involved in your community. Get involved with the business councils and the local associations. And then when you're involved, you can hold informational sessions at their events and meetings. You want to network with the local business owners tied to these associations and business councils, and actively participate in local events, and sponsor some of those local events in target industries that you really want to focus on. And then last, participate in charitable and fundraising organizations. Just get yourself out there, and then and not be afraid to talk about what you do and how you help people, and let people come to you and ask about your services. Next, we're going to talk about digital marketing, and I'm going to turn it over to Jacob.
Thank you, Anae. So, as you all know, most of the work we do now is done digitally. It's been trending that way for years, and we're not going back. I'm sure most of you still meet with clients in person, but digital communication is now dominating the way we gather information and sell our services to others. Anything you do online or over email is considered digital communication or digital marketing. So your emails, your website, blog, social media, YouTube, all of that. So if you can put together a marketing strategy that capitalizes on both digital and in-person marketing, that will give you the best chance at exponential growth for your agency. So now that Anae has discussed some different types of in-person marketing, let's go over some types of digital marketing. The first is search engine marketing or search engine optimization. This basically just means getting your website to show up on the first page of Google results, or hopefully as the first result on the first page when someone looks up something relevant to your business, such as maybe business insurance agent near me or something like that. So for this, you have the option of either building up a really strong and informative website that shows Google that you're an authority in this industry and you deserve to be at the top spot, or you can spend money running Google ads to show up in the promoted section that you see on top of Google sometimes. Or you could do both if you have the time and budget for it. We all use Google when we're trying to find something, and your prospects are no different. So I think this is a solid place to spend some time and money. Next, we have website marketing. This is pretty self-explanatory. It's the promotion of your website or using your website to promote yourself or your services. Then we have content marketing. It's kind of a broad term, but you can think of newsletters or blogs as examples of content marketing. After that, we have email marketing. This is one of the best and most cost-effective types of digital marketing. If you're not already doing this, I would highly recommend you start using Constant Contact or MailChimp to build an email list of prospects and start marketing to them this way. When you think of in-person marketing, you can really only talk to one person at a time. You can attend events and maybe speak to larger groups or hand out flyers that can be seen by a decent amount of people, but with email marketing, you have the opportunity to reach thousands or tens of thousands of prospects in seconds. So it's a very powerful tool. I know MailChimp has a free subscription to their service, so I would take advantage of that if you're not already doing some type of email marketing. The next form of digital marketing I want to touch on is video marketing. Obviously, this is really anything to do with videos that you'd create to market your business or your services. YouTube is the biggest platform you'd probably be uploading those videos to. We upload all of these webinars to YouTube in hopes of educating retail agents like yourself and potentially reaching new retail agents that would benefit from our services. So you could easily do something similar for your agency. And lastly, we have social media marketing. This is where I'm going to be spending most of my time explaining why being on social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn specifically are going to benefit your agency. So let's start with Facebook. This is one of the best platforms to really get involved with your community because of something called Facebook groups. You could join a local church group, a local restaurant group, any small business support group, or whatever niche you're trying to break into. And on Facebook, there's a group for just about anything. So you can spend some time finding some good groups, join them, and interact with the community. You don't need to jump in and start selling yourself to them right away. I suggest taking the time to meet people, build a real connection, maybe attend some of their local events, network, and support and learn about the people in your community. And once you've built a connection and earned their trust, you can take that next step of taking care of their insurance. One of my favorite social media marketing strategies is LinkedIn marketing, which may have actually been used to convince you to join our webinar today. In my opinion, it's the best social media platform for people that want to connect directly with business owners, which I assume should be all of you. LinkedIn has a strong search function with lots of filter options that allow you to target certain types of business owners in certain areas. And I'll show you exactly how that works in just a minute. LinkedIn is also great at building trust, building credibility, and building your brand. It's also very cost effective because unless you're paying to run ads, it's 100% free. Now, before I jump into a demo for you all, I want to go over a few do's and don'ts that you should remember when you're marketing on LinkedIn. First, one of your main goals, besides getting quality leads, should be to build your brand. You want to have a reputation of being trustworthy, insurance professional that people can come to when they need help. So be consistent in your branding and the message you're sending to people so that they can trust you and remember you. Next, you want to make sure you're providing value. Just question yourself and ask, how are you helping these business owners? And lastly, be understanding, because not everyone is going to respond to your messages or be interested in working with you right away, and that's okay. You'll find the right people as long as you have the right approach. Now, one thing you want to avoid on LinkedIn is overdoing it. And what I mean by that is trying to connect with too many people or send too many messages in a short amount of time. You can actually get suspended from LinkedIn because you're sending too many messages or connection requests, and LinkedIn thinks you're using some type of prohibited automated software. So a good rule of thumb is to only send out about 100 connection requests per week. Anything more could be considered excessive, so just want to throw that out there. And don't worry about writing this down. As you can see on the right-hand side of the slide, I have a step-by-step guide for LinkedIn marketing that I'll send to all of you. Next, you want to make sure there's minimal friction for the business owner to give you what you need. If your first message to them is asking them to fill out some 10-page application or give you a ton of details about their business, they're very unlikely to respond to you at all. So try not to ask for too much or appear too needy. Start by slowly building that relationship and just see where they're at with their insurance needs and if they're even open to getting a quote from you. Okay, now that we've got the foundation in place, let's actually go to LinkedIn so you can visually see how this works. So let me exit out of this real quick. Okay, so assuming you have a LinkedIn account and your profile is set up, you're gonna go to the search bar and type something in like insurance agency owner. This is just an example so you can play around with what you type in here to find exactly what you're looking for. Maybe you want to find restaurant owners, contractors, consultants, retail store owners, or just owners in general to give you a large list of prospects. So next we can start adding filters to our search. Always make sure it's searching for people instead of companies or posts or things like that. Then I want to filter out people that I'm already connected with. So I go to the connections here and click second and third, because first means you're already connected with them. The other main filter I'm always using is the location filter. Most of you are probably only licensed in 1 or 2 states, so you can filter by states. You can also drill down a little deeper and search just by city if you want to find people that are more local to you. For now, I'm just going to do California. Now you should have a pretty good list of results. You can go through this list and start connecting with people that you think could be a good fit. You can check out their profile by clicking on their name to get a better understanding of who they are and what they do before connecting, so you're not wasting their time or yours. And like I said earlier, it's probably best to stay around 100 connection requests per week. I've definitely done more myself per week, but a pop-up from LinkedIn will appear and say you've reached your weekly limit when you've sent too many connection requests. And you don't want to see that pop up too many times, otherwise you risk your account being suspended. So just be aware of that and don't overdo it. Now, once you've sent out a healthy amount of connection requests, you'll see your number of connections start to grow in the My Network tab. This number here. And once you are connected with someone, you can start messaging them and build that relationship. So like I mentioned earlier, I found that it's best to start slow and kind of provide some sort of value with your initial messages. Nobody likes random people messaging them on LinkedIn and trying to be sold something. So maybe you can ask them how their business is going to start the conversation. Everyone kind of likes talking about their business. Then you can get to know them a bit and ask them later down the line if they're happy with their insurance agent or if there's something they could be doing better. You can adjust your messaging strategy over time as you figure out what works for you. Eventually, you can ask for their X dates and their email so you can get the information you need to quote their business and hopefully earn a bind. So that is the LinkedIn marketing strategy. If you have any questions, you can go ahead and type them into the chat and I'll do my best to answer them before we finish today. You can get creative with this strategy by playing around with your searches and the search filters that you use. We really only scratched the surface, so I encourage you to start trying that out for yourself. So let me get back to the slide we were on. All right, so some of you may already be using these, but we have close to 30 different marketing flyers that you can customize with your own agency information and use them however you like. So they're on our website, available for you to use for free. You don't have to be appointed. You don't need to log in to get them. Just go to our website, cidinsurance.com, and find them in our marketing library under the broker tools tab. So you can see at the bottom left where it's circled there, we have a spot for you to actually type into these flyers. So find the one you want on our website, put your name, your agency name, phone number, email address, whatever you want, then save them to your desktop and use them however you see fit. LinkedIn is actually a great place to post them, so those people that you're connecting with will see them. You can also use them in proposal presentations or send them at renewal to cross-sell different coverages. We have a lot to choose from to promote, like different products, different coverages. So if you're looking for a specific one that we don't have on our website, let me know and I can make it for you. So I also want to make sure you're aware of some of the other tools we have on our website. If you're not familiar with our website, you should really spend like 5 to 10 minutes just exploring it to learn about everything we have to offer. Obviously, you know about our webinars. We record them and put them up on our website and our YouTube channel. So go back and watch some of the past webinars. I'm sure there's something for you on there that will pique your interest. Then we have proposal templates you can use, so you're able to send out very professional looking proposals to your clients. We make it really easy for you to just plug in the information you need and update the template for each quote that you get from us. You don't want to be sending or just forwarding along the quotes we send you to the insured, because we design those quotes specifically for you and not the insured. So you want to be sending them something professional that spells everything out nice and easy for them to understand. That'll make them more likely to go forward with binding a policy with you. As we just went over, we have a lot of marketing flyers you can use. And we also have our applications page where you can find all the applications we need in order to quote for you. These applications are fillable, so it's really easy for you to just type into them and complete them, much faster than printing them out and handwriting everything. And our underwriters can typically quote off just about any application you already have completed in your files. So the applications on our website are mainly for you to access if you don't have an app completed yet. We also have other quoting tools where you can either get a quote over the phone by speaking directly with an underwriter, or use one of our online quoting platforms to get quotes in usually less than 5 minutes by entering a very limited amount of information. We recently launched a cyber quote platform that I highly recommend you check out. So any business that operates digitally needs cyber. So like I said, there are plenty more tools on our website designed specifically for you to improve your marketing and the internal processes for your agency. So take the time to check everything out and let us know what you think. Lastly, we want to quickly discuss how CID's underwriters can help you. We have a team of very experienced and responsive underwriters. They'll pick up their phones, they answer their emails, so don't hesitate to reach out if you need any help. Everyone's contact information is listed on our website, so when you need a quote from our underwriters, you can actually just send your applications to the email on screen, submissions@cidinsurance.com, and our team will get back to you and get to work on it. Lastly, I'm going to show you guys our list of target classes here, so you have an idea of what we can write for you. So this is a pretty detailed list. It's not complete since we're always adding new markets and new products all the time, but it should give you a good idea of what we can help you with. And while I'm scrolling through these, please be sure to type any questions you have into the chat so we can answer them before we sign off. And by the way, I'll send you this list of classes after the webinar, so don't worry about writing any of this down. Yep, I'll send you guys everything that we've gone over today, so no need to write anything down. You also get a copy of this recording. All right, someone asked, where can I find the flyers on the website? So that is a great question. Whoops, forgot the M. I can just show you guys that. So CIDinsurance.com, you hover over broker tools, and we have our marketing library here. So you can see we have it broken out here in different categories. You can download, you can click the cyber one. This will pop up. You can type your name in here, broker name. You put your phone and whatever else you need, your email. You put your agency name, all that, and then you can download it over here. Download with your changes. So we've got a ton of flyers on the website. We've got our templates here, proposal templates, a lot of different things under this broker tools tab. That's where I highly recommend spending some time. Let me make sure I got to the bottom of this. But if there are no other questions, then we'll probably go ahead and sign off here and let you all get back to your desks. We really appreciate you taking the time to join us today. We hope you learned some valuable information. And before you leave, please be sure to take a minute or two to fill out the survey to let us know how we did. So thank you and have a great day.